Hello and welcome to another update video. Today, for the very first time, I'd like to cover EOS. It is obviously at the moment performing quite strongly for whatever fundamental reasons, but as you know, we are looking at the chart from an Elliott Wave point of view. We're performing here an Elliott Wave count, and EOS at the moment is one of the coins that really looks very, very interesting. And not in terms of, buy in now, but in terms of it might have just completed its first impulsive wave 1 on a relevant time frame here. So like many other cryptocurrencies, EOS came down and made a very, very long correction. It might have bottomed out here at 82 cents on the 18th of June. That is definitely a possibility that we need to keep an eye on. At the moment, I give EOS, like many other cryptos, a 60% probability for the bullish scenario. Until we now see, because this was a 5-wave move to the upside, which indicates that the trend most likely has shifted from a downtrend into an uptrend. And if this is the case, then we want to understand what happens now. Because if what we see now will be a 3-wave pullback, and we find support making a higher low, then this will increase the probabilities that we are in a breakout scenario and have already seen the low. That will increase those likelihoods dramatically. However, is it guaranteed? No, at least we have still a lot of work to do to the upside. But what I'd like to do, I would like to show you here of this imminent move to the downside, to the upside now, what the Elliott Wave count is and what we can expect possibly here in the next few days. So if we label this now, then what we would expect, let us just do the larger wave count first. So from the low at 82 cents, we moved up in what we can count as a wave 1. This is a wave 1. We then came down in a wave 2 here. We then moved up in a wave 3. If you now think, why am I skipping waves? I'm going to show you the sub-wave count as well. This here is a wave 4 and this then as a wave 5. It's a perfectly fine impulse, And interestingly, a target for the wave 5 is the minimum target is normally the 1.618 Fibonacci extension of the wave 1. And if we now take a look at that, you can actually see that the minimum target was more than broken. We even moved up to the 4.618 extension at $1.90. So it's performed really, really well. And if we now take a look at the subwaves, because this is relevant as well. So if we label the subwaves, I mean, here there's nothing to label, but then the wave 3 is obviously very long. So it makes sense to take a look at that as well. And from here we had a wave 1 here, then a wave 2 here, and I'm going to change the color in a minute. Then this was the wave 3, then we had a wave 4 here and a wave 5 here. Now I'm going to change the color now, make that yellow, and go to the smaller ones here. So this is sort of that wave count. And then, we could also label here the subwaves of the wave 3. I'm not going to put them on the chart, but I'm going to show you what happened here. So in my opinion, what we did, we had a wave, this was probably the wave 1, a leading diagonal here. Then we came down in a wave 2, moved up in a 3, came down here in a 4, and moved up in a 5. And just that you've seen it, I'll take them off the chart again, but this is sort of the wave count of that subwave 3. And then we came down here in a wave 4, which was an ABC pattern, I would say, probably. So we came down here. This would be the wave A. We then moved up in a wave B, and then here is C in a truncated zigzag pattern. And then we moved up in a wave 5 of the 3. Again, same story here, 3-wave move down in that wave 4, and then the wave 5. Now, I think that wave 5 is probably peaked now. What we can now expect, in my opinion, is a pullback, because this would now be a wave 1. This 5-wave move is a wave 1. that is what we can currently assume. Levels that need to hold. Well, first of all, let's take a look at the Fibonacci retracement levels, because these will now be important in this wave 2. Yeah, so if we now come down here in a wave 2, yeah, what is important to understand? If this is the first relevant impulse, then this will be the first relevant correction. This should come down ideally in an ABC pattern. And this would be an interesting area to accumulate EOS. Yeah, anybody who likes EOS, anybody who wants to speculate here for higher prices, in my opinion, the area where we now come into with the highest likelihood would be the area between the 38.2% fib level and the 61.8% fib level, maybe all the way down to the 78.6. Yeah, I mean, maybe to be on the safe side, because this was quite a strong move up. And we take a look at the indicators as well, but maybe we just keep it local here, isolated to the 50% fib level and the 78.6, somewhere here. Yeah, between $1.38 and $1.05. This is sort of what you would normally now in a wave 2 expect in a move down. I'm not telling you this is guaranteed to happen, and I'm not telling you this is guaranteed to come into this area, but this is the area where I would expect the price to get into with the highest likelihood. If we go through this level, it would seriously challenge the bullish scenario. And then in the end, we will have to count all of this corrective, even though at the moment, this looks like a decent impulse. So at the moment, we have no reason to believe we wouldn't come down in a 3-wave move here into this area. From here then, we would expect the move up in a wave 3. Yeah, because if we have done the wave 1, we've done the wave 2, the next wave up would be the wave 3. And just for fun, we can also calculate here a target for that. But don't get me wrong, I don't want to create hopium. I don't want to hype this coin, just to show you what would be possible if the next wave up is indeed the wave 3. And if we come down, let's say even or into the middle of the target area, yeah, then we'd be looking at the 1.618 extension in the wave 3. That would take us just above $3 as a minimum. Yeah, and this is what needs to happen in the bullish scenario to confirm that bullish wave count. But yeah, this is certainly an area where anybody who likes EOS, it might be worth speculating to get in and then get the reversal done. But what I would like to do, especially because we are in such an uncertain market environment at the moment, what might be worth to do, waiting until we get into this area, then either, some people might want to set a limit buy order here somewhere at these key levels that I just showed you, those 3 Fibonacci levels in this area, and others might want to wait for a small bullish signal in this area before buying. For example, a small impulsive wave pattern to the upside. Yeah, and overall, if we take a look now at the indicators, we can see that the MACD on the daily is already losing a little bit of steam. You can see that here. Yeah, it's starting to reduce bullish momentum, and maybe we even get a bearish crossover here on the daily. Now, on the 8-hour, we're already seeing that bearish crossover just now on the RSI, and the MACD is already further advanced to reduce positive momentum. So that will eventually, in my opinion, move over onto the daily chart. Yeah, because on the 4-hour, it's even further advanced. You can see that we here already had our bearish crossover on the RSI and the MACD. So I think this is now going to move over onto the daily, and then this would support that move here to the downside. You also had, and obviously the first time I'm covering EOS really, but we had a bearish crossover here as well on the RSI. As you can see here, a lower high on the RSI and a higher high on the price chart, always indicating be careful, we are probably going to come down here at some point. And the 8-hour also showed a bearish crossover, and the daily chart didn't really, okay, but the 8-hour did. Yeah, and that's my update about EOS. So now we just need to see how the market is behaving in the next few days. I think for now we can expect a bit of a move down here. That is sort of my primary expectation. Of course, if we now make a reversal to the upside and break above that 195 level, which is the high here, then we are going to continue that rally, and it might be a massively extended wave 5 of the wave 1, but reasonably expect we have to reasonably expect now, first of all, that recovery, because we can count that reversal here, or the retracement, because we can count 5 waves as complete. And we have seen those bearish crossovers now, and we've seen the bearish divergence as well. So we'll see how the next few days continue, and then we'll also know if we have a chance to get into this green target range. All right, and that's my view about EOS. So hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, yeah, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.